But because I wonder, like a lot of things happened very conveniently over the last week regarding The Rock's return,
Yeah.
because the sale officially goes through there on
Mhm.
Tuesday, and Vince McMahon is kind of back around, and then The Rock is back on Friday. And The
Mhm.
Rock earlier in the day on the Pat McAfee show, he had talked about how at one point him versus Roman Reigns was locked in for WrestleMania,
Mhm.
but they couldn't figure out that what was this industry changing thing that they wanted to accomplish with it. So
Mhm.
they decided, okay, maybe we'll push it back. And there's this merger coming up, so let's get that out of the way. And I was like, yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense. This
Mhm.
new company has been created. You want that stock price up as big as you can get it.
Mhm.
What, your biggest star just happens to come back a few days after TKO Group
On
Holdings
the
goes on the stock
first
market.
the first live show that this new company produces
Yeah.
as The Rock.
And you've got The Rock Friday afternoon teasing that he could be back for WrestleMania 40 just before the stock market closes for the weekend.
Hmm.
So that's kind of what I thought this was. I was like, oh hey, and this is good for wrestling fans. It means WWE's been holding back some stuff until like some good stuff that they can do until the merger was over. So now we're in a
Mhm.
stage where it's like, okay, now we're gonna get some good stuff.
I hope
So
so. That'd be
oh, we
cool.
got The Rock. We got The Rock on SmackDown. What is bigger than The Rock?
The Boulder. Sorry, that was terrible. Uh, yeah. So you give a lot of credit to WWE for forward thinking, and
Sometimes.
and and I would like to do the same, but I also feel that like The Rock is The Rock, and if you're like, hey, Rock, do you want to come on our show? And he's like, yeah, all right. You're just like, yes, and you don't care what's happening around it. Like you don't. They ask him like once, like every week. The first call they make is, hey, do you want to come be on SmackDown this week? Maybe. And he's like, I'm being Santa Claus in a movie or some shit. I don't know, and away he goes, kind of thing. Um, to sort of like lay it all out like that. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, and it's a good idea. But I don't know if they could hold on to, like, I don't know if there's anyone with the willpower to be like, oh, The Rock could go on now, but no,
Mhm.
let's wait. Let's wait until the stock price, like, and boost the stock price this way or whatever. I think they definitely wanted to make a big splash on their first event, and they definitely did, without
Mhm.
question. Like, it worked out great for them, no matter which way they were trying to handle it. But
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, The Rock is, and he's also the one of the few guys. Like we saw Steve Austin have a return match with Kevin Owens, and it was great, and it was fun, and we all had a blast. But it was also very, very like, let's do this to protect Steve, to make sure he doesn't hurt himself. And
Mhm.
there was like, it was arranged specifically so that 50-year-old Steve Austin could perform at the level or close to it that he was at.
Yeah.
The Rock's in better shape than he's ever been in his
Oh
life.
yeah. Well, The
So
Rock
you
doesn't have
can,
the same history of injuries, right? Like he's not
well,
nearly as beat up as Steve Austin is.
and he's a machine.
Yeah.
He has that giant, like, gym that he just carts around wherever he goes, and is just like, well, sleep, why would I do that? I could be pumping iron, or using huge chains or something. But so you could put him in any kind of match, even at
Mhm.
50 years of age, and know that he'll perform. What I think is really funny about this, though, is that, as I'm sure the dozen and dozen of people that are watching know, the WGA, the Writers Guild of America, and the
Yeah.
Actors Guild,
Yeah.
SAG-AFTRA, are on strike right now. So there is no productions happening in Hollywood, no big blockbusters being filmed, no TV, nothing. So isn't it funny that happened? Well,
Mhm.
suddenly John Cena is advertised for every SmackDown for 2
Yeah.
months, and then suddenly The Rock's got some free time. So all right, yeah. And suddenly, we hear Dave Batista might be sniffing around for like, what are you guys doing? Can I do something?
Yeah. I
So
have
it is interesting to see how said muscly chickens may have come home to roost.
Well, okay. Something I was thinking about regarding this the other day, like we are in such a weird period for wrestling, but all of it is good for wrestling fans, right? So all of a sudden there's the actors strike, the writers strike. I was like, and we've got The Rock and John Cena back. I was like, wow, that's great. Maybe Batista. So that's one thing that's been working in wrestling's favor. The other is the merger and the company and the idea that they want to get the stock price to start really high. So they're going to do a lot of really cool stuff over the next few months. So that's another reason why wrestling should be really good over the next little bit. And then another reason that wrestling should be good, really, really good over the next little bit is they're negotiating their next TV rights deal, which is the main, the highest source of revenue the company has.
Yep.
So huge. So it's interesting. So Rock said that he wanted to do something industry changing. Like that's what he teased when he was on the Pat McAfee show. He was like, said, we wanted to do something industry changing, but we didn't know what that was. And then said he was open to doing it at WrestleMania 40. So I thought, okay, like if he's putting that out there, industry changing, he might in his mind have some idea of what that means, even if he doesn't have it all fleshed out. What could that possibly be?
I think it means the mat is going to go above the ropes. Change the industry.
But I was trying to think. I was like, what could? I mean, yes, that would literally change the industry. That's correct.
Like, what if we made the ring 6-sided?
All of our tickets, merchandise, everything, you have to pay in Bitcoin.
Ooh.
Massive change to the industry. Industry change, baby.
And over at AEW, they're like, I don't know why we're doing this, but The Rock said to, so we figured it must be a good idea.
Yeah, it's like, but I know, but he works for them. I was like, The Rock said industry.
Look, The Rock.
We're in the industry.
But do you have any Tony Khan's like, I'm a big fan,
I can't talk about this question, but we have a great card coming up on AEW Dynamite.
Yeah. With a huge announcement from me in both hours 1 and 2. But yeah, in terms of industry changing thing, I don't know what it could be. Like, I don't want to see The Rock in a new untested match type.
I think it would just be like something bigger than, but like, would just a match be The Rock and like between The Rock and Roman Reigns? Like that wouldn't be industry changing.
No, especially because like, even though they did it, with John Cena, I don't think you put the title on The Rock in this case.
No, I don't think because you need to. I mean, The Rock is a title unto himself.
Exactly. He wouldn't elevate that at all. And all it would do is prove that nobody today is as good as The Rock, and while we can think that, we don't say it aloud. So I don't know what they could do. I mean, maybe like, something that would change the industry. How do we change the industry? And what would we want to change in the industry? Because it's kind of good right now.
Yeah, things are good. Like a match on the moon. I don't know.
I'd watch that. Yeah, for sure.
That feels like if Vince had to stay retired, and he gravitated to something, he would try and send himself to the moon. It feels like something Vince might have done. Like,
we're gonna do it.
I'm gonna go to the moon.
On the moon.